Welcome back. You're listening to The Good News with Angie Austin. If you want to call in, 303-477-2473. I hope you just heard Mike speak. That's Mike Esparza. He's a big name in San Diego. I used to do news down there, and he was doing radio in San Diego for about 18 years and about 25 years in the biz. Got started pretty much on the Howard Stern show. And as you heard in his testimony, he has been through a lot. Mike, are you there?
I am.
Now, we're going to take calls in a minute, and I'm kind of asking people in general to call in and ask if they've gone through something. It doesn't have to be, exactly what you went through, but how did they get through it? And if they've seen anyone else maybe that they care about or know that got through something that, maybe can inspire people right now who are going through a bumpy spot in the road. Anything else you want to ask people to call in about, Mr. Mikey?
Well, it could, definitely all of the above, and M1 Nation is welcome to call in and, just talk about anything they want to, I guess, that relates to me giving my testimony. And maybe some people have been changed that are my listeners that have been changed as a result of hearing the testimony. That would be really great. And I think that in and of itself is a testimony.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and check in with Paul and see who he's got for us first.
Okay.
Paul.
Yes, I am.
Hi, Liam. So, what? I think I know you, Liam. Are you on my Facebook?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I love you, Liam. Tell us what's going on today.
Well, I wanted to call in because I've overcome a lot of things, and I did it through the glory of my Lord. Years back, I ended up at CU Fitz for 10 days. And by the time I got out, I'd lost my apartment. I'd lost everything.
Oh, no.
And I went down to Samaritan House and stayed there. But during my days, I would go to the library and research my afflictions because knowledge is power. And now I have my own apartment. I have Social Security, and I do quite well on what's provided. And I even manage to put some into savings every once in a while.
Good for you, Liam.
But I never once did my faith waver. Never. And there were some changes that had to be made, so it was really a no-brainer. I made them. I remember one night in particular, I was walking back to Samaritan House, and I walked by 17th and 18th on Arapahoe, which is not a good area to be in at night. And I stopped, and I got shot in the left arm.
Oh, my goodness.
And I went down. You'll love this. It's funny, but it's true.
I've never had someone say I was shot. And by the way, Angie, you'll love this part. So far, I don't love this part, Liam, but go ahead.
I felt it go into my coat, and then I went down to the Greyhound bus depot, went into the restroom, pulled off my jacket, my sweatshirt, and I pulled the bullet out with a Leatherman tool.
Oh.
And then I treated it with Neosporin that I always carried with me. Cleaned it, and I made a bandage out of, and this is the funny part, I made a bandage out of paper towels and duct tape.
My goodness. Duct tape can be used for everything, Liam. I must admit that now I've heard it all.
Yes, you're right. And, well, I didn't want to go to the hospital. But, so the Lord was with me even there. And through my other afflictions, I was diagnosed with so many things.
I know you've been battling a lot because you had asked me to pray for you on Facebook, and you've been going through, quite a bit, I must say, with your illness, and you always seem to keep a very upbeat attitude. What's the key to that?
key to that is God ain't through with me yet.
He's not through with you yet. Hey, Liam, I want you to stay on the line because I want Paul to get your phone number for me because I want to talk to you a little bit more later, too, and I've got a number that I want to give to you as well. And
Sure.
Mike, I've actually got someone on the line as well that, Mike, your story, I knew that someone would call and say that it really impacted them. And we've got Carol on the line, and she's going to talk to Mike. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Angie. Mike, your story really pretty much touched close to home of what I'm going through right now myself. I'm very fearful that my grandsons are going to be molested. They're right now being raised across the street from a federally convicted sex offender. And they're going over there all the time, unsupervised. Hello?
Now, Carol, are they actually in foster care? But your children were taken from you, is that correct? Not you, from your son,
yes.
yeah. And so you're concerned about them possibly, being in a situation where they could be molested.
Right.
Well,
it scares me every day. And I was going to file for guardianship, and I found out yesterday that I'm being evicted from my apartment.
Oh, no.
Unless I can come up with over $1,000 by Friday.
Now, I know a little bit about your story because we have written back and forth on this. And I know, explain to me the situation with your son, because that's a very complicated situation. His wife died, and then he had the children still.
Right. She passed away morning of August 17th, this past August. And an hour after the coroner took her body from our house, Child Protective Services took his boys from him. And he's been fighting ever since to get them back. And now her step-aunt has them in her custody. And her father lives across the street from her. And he is a federally convicted sex offender.
Well, I know Mike's story touched you because he went through that is when he was younger, and you're fearful that could happen to the boys.
Exactly, because my oldest grandson's 5 and the youngest is 2. And just knowing that they're going over there unsupervised, it scares me. I've put everything in the Lord's hands.
Have you expressed to them, to the authorities that are in charge of the kids' welfare, that you're concerned about this? Because this seems obviously to me like something that should be acted upon.
Oh, we have, but they don't care. They said, we'll talk to the step-aunt, and she is not going to tell them the truth.
Mike, do you have anything you want to add into this?
It all sounds really, really painful to be going through, and I'm really sorry that you're going through what you're going through. I think that you've done what is reasonable. And I think that what you've done it all sounds like a good idea. Just wonder if there could be more of a hands-on approach with these kids where you're taking them out of that situation and they're not in that situation, but I guess you're not really able to.
Right. I had already printed out the paperwork to file the motion to take over guardianship. And then my landlord gave me notice yesterday that I either come up with this over $1,000 or I have to move.
You know what, Carol, what I think we should do? You stay on the line as well. Give us your phone number, and we're going to also look into this as well because, having grown up in a situation where at times I was in the hands of others, whether it be in foster care or with an abusive relative, somebody's got to step in on behalf of these kids because the repercussions, as Mike and I know, go on for a lifetime.
And that's what I'm all afraid of.
If these kids are young right now and there's a chance that we can protect them from what's going on, I really think that we need to make the effort and to get on this ourselves. So please stay on the line, Carol, and give your phone number to Paul, and you and I will be in touch on Facebook as well, and we'll see what we can do to protect these kids.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Mike, it just pains me to even hear of a situation where a grandmother is fearful that the kids are being abused, and it is completely out of her hands, she believes, to help them.
Well, I think that, the thing that is not out of her hands is prayer. And prayer changes so much. I mean, it literally can change momentum on a dime. And there's a lot of people listening, and I hope they're praying for her and praying for that situation. If there is nothing that she can do, prayer is what she has, and it's powerful.
She has prayer and us, Mike, because I'm on a mission now.
There you go.
Now, I believe we have someone that you have helped, and let's go ahead and check in now with Paul and see who he's got for us. Go ahead, Veronica. We got Mike on the line.
Hello, Mike. It's V. How are you?
V, how are you?
Hi.
Great to talk to you.
Same with you. It's fantastic to hear your voice. Say it's coming through my speaker, or my computer speaker, but still, fantastic to hear you. And thank you for having him being able to give his testimony on,
Thrilled
within
to have him.
without the 5 minutes, that he gets on Fridays. So it's fantastic to hear him.
Yeah, and Veronica is she's an incredible girl that has really, whenever there's something going on and we need help and we're trying to raise money or we're trying to do something, Veronica is always there to help, and she's just one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. She's an incredible girl.
Hey, Veronica, you'd mentioned to Paul that Mike had helped you in some way. How is that?
I don't know if you know this, Mike, or not, but growing up, I had huge self-esteem issues. And, sorry, getting all misty. And, just listening to you on the air, it seems like no matter what you said every week on Friday touched me personally, and then when you came to talk at church, Calvary Oceanside, getting to hear the entire thing, it's amazing. You have touched me in so many different ways that God's just absolutely amazing. And just the self-esteem and the low self-esteem and, feeling like you're unwanted and, you're not good enough for this, you're not good enough for that. Thank you. Thank you for your words on Friday, even if it's just 5 minutes on Fridays. It means, you have no idea how much it means to me.
That's rad. That is so rad, Veronica, and you're welcome, and, you're the real deal. Veronica's the real deal, and I'm so glad to hear your voice.
I know. I'm glad to hear yours, too. So now that I know you're home and safe, I'll be bringing by some goodies sometimes the next week.
Yeah!
That's always
Very nice.
Well, Veronica, thanks for calling in. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Mike some more. And if you would like to call in and tell us if you've overcome something or if someone you know has overcome something, and tell us how they did it. This show is about hope and healing and inspiration, and hopefully we'll have a few laughs here and there from time to time. The number to call in, if you'd like to call us for the good news with Angie Alston, is 303-477-2473. We'll be right back with Mike and Angie.